For some athletes, winning is everything, but for others, the most important thing is to remain human, even if you've been striving to be the best your whole life. But before the game starts, subscribe and hit the bell. After losing a match, this wrestler burst into tears and it broke her opponent's heart.
Losing her mom, certainly you know that Helen knows all of them to come and wrestle. And she rocketed through the Challenger tournament to get
She had just lost her mother and was saying, "I'm sorry, Mom," for her defeat on the mat. Security stopped this kid right before his dreams came true. But watch as the soccer player rushes to the boy's defense. Isaac Marquez had always dreamed of becoming a real fighter, and when UFC fighter Diego Sanchez found out, he set up a real fight for Isaac with a real victory. Even with a salary of 30 million euros a year, Ronaldo hasn't lost his humanity and helps an injured opponent off the field. After suffering a defeat, this wrestler couldn't even stand up on his own. But then his opponent does this for him. This young man dreamed of playing soccer, but he never could have imagined he'd play one-on-one with the legendary Javi.
Yes! Very good, my friend. Fantastic, eh? Very good.
Justin Gatlin had always dreamed of doing the impossible and beating the legendary Usain Bolt. And when he finally succeeded, his reaction speaks for itself.
And Usain Bolt in his final individual race runs 9.95 seconds for bronze.
A fan becomes hysterical at the sight of her idol, Ronaldo, so he tries to calm her down. Rick Hoyt's son dreamt of competing in a triathlon, but everyone thought it was impossible because of his cerebral palsy. But Rick didn't care. He made his son's dream come true by literally carrying him throughout the race. A runner was just a few steps away from the finish line when his body stopped obeying him.
Run there by the man that I said.
It was the perfect opportunity for his competitors, but not everyone took advantage of it.
And now,
this is lovely.
Wonderful.
This is what sports should be all about. This is trying to be up.
Keep him on.
That's the civil Cheprot, I think.
Keep him away.
That's Cheprot called carry him.
Now the medics are here by
They should please not rush there.
This young fan wanted to get a photo with Messi, but the security guards wouldn't let him pass. But Messi saw the crying boy and couldn't just walk past.
Lágrimas estalló, en lágrimas, más mesianos que Messi. Y no le preguntan a Messi si quiere sacarse la foto o si quiere firmar el autógrafo. Ahí está el nene. Mirá.
After a collision, Sebastian Vettel stalled out in the middle of the track.
Is that possible? Stroll is not looking where he's...
But to everyone's surprise, Pascal Wehrlein decided to help him off. He's the real winner. For this racer, no race matters when there's a woman in need. A 5,000-meter race turned out to be too much for one runner, so his opponent brought him to the finish line.
A huge ovation for this massive have finished the 5,000 meters.
Winning doesn't matter when it comes to dignity. This young fan ran onto the field to meet his idol, and instead of asking security to take the kid out, Neymar hugged him and told security to back off. And then he even went a step further. This exhausted athlete nearly fell just before the finish line and was ready to give up, but his brother wouldn't let that happen.
And Alistair is
He helped him finish in second place.
pushing him home for second. Johnny finishes.
This team lost one of its members, and now he's scoring his final goal before he leaves forever. Chase Elliott won his first NASCAR race, but ran out of gas and couldn't even make it to the podium. And then Jimmy Johnson decided to give him a push.
Coming at the hands of Chase Elliott.
All this 12-year-old boy wanted was to wrestle in a real match, but his paralysis meant he had no chance of winning. Now look at what his opponent did.
Ordinary wrestling match between two 7th graders, with one boy defeating the other. But on this day, both of these 12-year-old victors, and to call this extraordinary doesn't even begin to describe these guys' parts. Courage and character and a remarkable.
With just 18 meters to go, this runner began to collapse from exhaustion, something her opponents could have taken advantage of, but they didn't.
So she can finish the race. That's what the sport is, our own position to help another athlete finish what they started, and that's the true sportsmanship.
This cameraman accidentally almost broke Usain Bolt's $32 million legs. He could have had to answer for it in court, but instead, they became friends. When an ambulance stalled right in the middle of the field, opponents from both sides teamed up to save a life. Even the fastest person in the world knows that sometimes you just have to slow down and make others happy. This boy's gonna wear that hat all year round. When you referee a match with your beloved one, you can cheer each other up in a very touching way. Ronaldo accidentally hit a fan right in the face with the ball. To make up for it, the soccer player decided to give him a special gift.
А вот он подарил футболку этому человеку, которому разбил нос. Красивый жест, правда?
This athlete's pole broke during her vault, but she didn't have a spare pole for a second attempt, so her opponent decided to share hers.
Really fortunately, the chat, what's going on down there?
Essentially an international club. And she's over.
One athlete had the misfortune of falling just before the finish line, but she didn't give up and finished the race on one leg. Other athletes immediately ran over to check if she was okay. This volleyball player took a spike directly to the face and was ready to burst into tears, but her teammates and coach reacted immediately and didn't let her give up. All these racers gathered for one thing, to honor the memory of a colleague who would never be able to ride with them on the same track again. For Neymar, these are just cleats, but for one of his fans, they are the greatest gift ever. Look, now he's being interviewed like a real star. During a charity rugby league match, a 4-year-old kid ran onto the field hoping to get a closer look at his idols, but he never expected to become part of the team. This ball boy always wanted a photo with his favorite soccer player, but instead went down in history as part of the team, all thanks to Ronaldo's kindness. That's all the greatest moments of respect in sports we have for you today. Be sure to write in the comments which moment touched you the most, and be sure to add #IWantPart2 if you want to see more. And much respect from us for you liking the video and subscribing. See you soon.